decided to come back to Anvil, take care of some unfinished business for the Fighters Guild. Of course, I don't mind an excuse to come back here. This is the city that I probably have the fondest memories of from first playing Oblivion. When I got here and I heard the ship bells and saw this, little town tucked off into a bay with the lighthouses and birds flying by and all that, crabs along the seashore. Come on, man. This was just magical stuff. And you come out here and people just going about their daily lives. Lady over there painting on the end of the docks and people just wandering about doing their thing. Of course, you have this shopkeeper here who's been having problems with break-ins, so he has a contract with the Fighters Guild to put a stop to it. I guess that's what we'll do next. I remember this being particularly nasty even on lower difficulties. Of course, at earlier levels, which we are. We're at earlier levels, so we're going to kind of see where we're at. We might take a look at some of this stuff, too, before we leave.
Welcome. Greetings. Welcome to Lelles Quality Merchandise. We have a wide range of goods to suit your needs. Oh, and perhaps you saw the sign outside? A slight mistake, Bit of bad luck there. So, what can I do for you? I've lost a great deal of merchandise over the last few months. I keep replacing it, but they keep stealing it. New locks on the doors be damned. They always come at night after I've gone to bed. Maybe a mage transports them inside. You can just stay in the shop overnight. Good luck. I'm going to wait at the flowing bowl until this mess is settled. I know I can trust you to keep the place safe.
Okay, so maybe he's...
As I said, I'll need you to stop these thieves from breaking into my store. It only seems to happen at night. I am Norbert Lelles. How may I help you?
He may not be the brightest bulb in the box, and a little trusting, maybe a little naive. I know I can trust you to keep the shop safe. Yeah, whatever they left behind, I'm probably going to take the rest of it. No, I mean, seriously, but he's a good-hearted person, and that's, yeah. Oh, almost feel bad. In fact, I do. I do feel bad about it. Now, this right here, when it comes to level design, I have to respect the developers here for being pretty creative by disguising these levels really well. Like here, we're going to get into a fight in a relatively small arena. Put a couple enemies there and put you in a box and see how you can maneuver about when you actually have to put up a fight when everything stays within arm's reach. You can't just, kite an enemy a mile down a cave or something and bottleneck your enemies. Here, it's essentially you're stuck in the shop, a small arena type of thing. Now, I don't know if you can leave out of one of the doors mid-fight to get away in a pin. Oh, look at that. Oh, nice reach, asshole. Okay. I got something for you here. Meet my little friend. I got friends, too. Probably better get out of here. Ouch. Little bitch with a dagger. Yeah, I've had problems with this on lower difficulties. I really have. So, if we can get through this, be a good sign that we're strengthening up a bit. I don't need this guy with the two-hander finishing me off. Well, so much for my zombie, huh? Haha. These poisons, man, really are the, they're the balance on this difficulty. So if any of you want to take advantage of what I've learned from my experience so far with this, it would be keep poisons available early and often. I doubt when we get to around the level 15 or so range that they're going to be so relevant unless the potency of my poisons can keep up with, the scaling of the enemies. In other words, okay, a poison that does, say, 20 points of damage now seems to be pretty effective. At level 15 against much higher tier enemies, probably not so. But these early level 1 through 5, 1 through 8 enemies, it's making a difference. So that is the one main thing that I can say that I've learned so far, is to have poisons early and often. I don't think it's a coincidence that if you look, they offer you just as many poisons as you might need in the sewer at the very beginning of the game. So in other words, they probably took max difficulty into account, figured the numbers that you might need, and compensated for that by giving you a few poisons. They left a few ingredients out where you find your first mortar and pestle around that goblin that you sneak up on, right? And there's a poison sitting right next to it, along with a couple ingredients to make some more poisons, so you can deal with the goblins in the next room, namely that sorcerer with the staff. You hit her with your bow and a poison arrow twice on max difficulty, and you can kill her, even with no marksman ability. But you need that. If not, you're going to sit there and have a shootout with her, and true enough, you can probably shoot it out with her with fireballs and eventually finish her off. But it gives you options. All I'm saying is it makes it doable. And if you want to go in there melee, I'm sure the poison is just as efficient on a sword as it is with a bow. Although with the bow, having a sneak attack is a little helpful. But anyway, there's options there. But they put those in there, and looking back, I'm like, wow, that's genius, man. I mean, they really kind of thought of everything. Okay, just a little overburden here. I need to get rid of 5 pounds. I really haven't been using it. It's cool. I can come back and actually get some of this stuff, so it's not that big of a deal. You may notice we got a new sword. I'm not dropping that, and I'm not dropping the sword I have. That's where most of my weight is coming from. I understand that. But I'll be selling our iron sword, and I guess we'll start using this dwarven one for an extra point of damage. I'll take it. Any extra little bit of damage right now would be helpful. I'd also like to grab some of this stuff, too. Take this back to Ongar and Bruma and get rid of that, too. Here, what do these weigh? 9 pounds? I can come back for these, so not a big deal. I'm just thankful that we got through that fight. I'm actually really happy with that. I'm like, okay, we can take a hit or two now, and it's just going to get better. We have no enchantments on our armor. We don't have upgrades and stuff yet. We're just running around pretty much bare bones. And our weapons are, well, a little subpar. I would like to get to the point where I'm hitting them as hard as they're hitting me. If they can hit me for half health, I want to hit them for half health. That's fair. And so we need to find that kind of balance, figure out what kind of enchantments would be ideal to at least achieve that. So get some poisons early, and also a summons earlier. And not making conjuration a major skill, which the reason is I knew I'd use it. But the downside to that is not having leveled it up a little bit earlier. I was without a summons earlier. Having a zombie or a skeleton around at level 3 would have been huge. Especially in some of those circumstances, like dealing with Calthar, dealing with the Fort Blueblood period. The one time I did summon up, what was it, a headless zombie, he basically took out a mob for me type of thing. So having had a summons at that point would have been a huge help. Also having a few poisons. I'm not mad about having to go through without it, because I felt it was good practice. It was a good learning opportunity, kind of get used to swinging a different kind of weapon than what I'm used to. Two-handed weapon is obviously a lot slower than a short sword, but has a bigger range and stuff. Notice you'll see me swinging wildly a lot, just kind of trying to get used to it. Stamina isn't near as much an issue as it was. With endurance and extra willpower and stuff like that, we're doing pretty good on that early, so stamina should not be a real problem pretty much from here on out.
Were you able to take care of my problem with break-ins?
Absolutely. We're professionals.
You've gotten them? Wonderful. But their names are familiar to me. All of those men have worked for me. Amazing. I even trusted them to open up the shop in the mornings. I can't imagine what turned them to a life of crime. Sad. Well, here's your payment. Bye.
Huh. Yeah, he's kind of simple. Can't imagine what turned into a life of crime. Yeah, some people are just like that, you know, and some people just can't conceive the possibility that there's just assholes in this world. And the easiest way for them to exploit you is for you not to be aware of that fact that there are assholes in this world, and they're not going to change. He got to experience that firsthand, didn't he? All right, well, let me sell some of this stuff that I looted off these guys to him right now.
Greetings. Seeing you just makes me feel safer. Can I interest you in some of my wares?
Enchanted stuff is worth quite a bit of gold. Good deal. I wonder if he has any learning books. So I'm really not all that worried about learning stuff right now. In that, I'd rather control the rate at which I level. Yeah, you can go ahead and have this. We'll just, we'll go enchant another one. That's fine. Cheaper than recharging that thing anyway. If I gotta use a common soul gem to recharge my sword, I'll just go make a new sword.
That's a good deal.
Makes sense to me.
Well, you drive a hard bargain.
Man, I have so many alchemy ingredients. It's crazy. At some point when I just don't care about wasting
Thank you for your business.
points towards intelligence, I'm just going to sit there and just make a crap ton of potions. To sell, if nothing else. Now that we have a house back at the waterfront, at some point I will probably go back and drop off a bunch of alchemy ingredients. Make what I know that I'm going to need for a while, and then drop off the rest. I probably ought to do that. It'd probably save me 30 pounds of weight.
Seeing you just makes me feel safer. Have a look around. You won't find better prices in all Tamriel.
Alright, let me go ahead and sell these last few things.
Come back and see me again. Bye.
Alright, so I guess we'll go report to, what's his name? Azan? Actually, I'm not sure if we need to report this back. I think so. To get a promotion, you can't get new contracts unless you're promoted. Let's see how this thing looks. Man, it's worth 300 gold just by itself. Well, that answers my question as to what heavy stuff comes after steel. It's iron, then steel, then dwarven. So I guess after that would be ebony? Or do we move on to glass stuff? I know glass is considered light armor, but I think when it comes to weapons, I don't know that it really matters. Although there's also mithril light armor, and I don't think there's any such thing as mithril weapons, although I kind of wish there were.
Yes?
Oh, wow. Look at that. I believe that's a skill book. Although, I think we've already read that. That's cool. I'll sell it.
I hope I can help. I don't have anything for anyone in your rank. Check with Burrs Grokash in Shadenhall. He might have something.
Ah, okay, so no promotion here.
I'm sorry. You're not yet ready for a promotion. Keep completing contracts and take care of any assigned duties.
Okay, well that's cool. I don't mind having helped out Norbert, although I'm feeling a little bad about finishing robbing his shop. Although something tells me he's going to experience a lot of that in the future as well. That any old thug coming in saying, "Hey, why don't you give me a job and trust me with the keys to the shop?" That Norbert immediately just trusts everybody on the spot. Makes me wonder how he's ever even managed to make a living, but I don't know, sometimes things seem to look out for people like that, and they should, against people such as my character. Yeah, I'm feeling bad about that. Should have left what little was in the shop alone. Here I'm feeling bad, being a promoted member of the Thieves Guild. I'm still feeling bad about Norbert Lelles. I'm sure someone charged him a pretty penny for misspelling the sign in front of his shop, but he took it in good nature. I mean, I don't know. You know, the world could actually use maybe some more people like that. Foolish, yeah, okay. To some, but good-hearted, and I'd rather have more good hearts than more level heads, so to speak. Although good hearts and level heads usually come hand in hand. Unless you're simple, like Norbert. Poor Norbert. Man, these things grow back quick. You know, I think this little garden they have here in the Arcane University is reason enough to join the university. Even if it weren't for enchanting stuff and making your own spells, simple fact that you have access to just about anything you might need to make whatever potion you might want to make. I'm still kind of dreading going to the cave to deal with the mages to go get our mage staff. The longer I put it off, the stronger those mages are going to get. I have to keep that in mind. And we're probably going to go do that pretty soon. But one thing I want to do first, though, I wanted to go to Chadenall and check in with the Fighters Guild there and see if we can't complete one more contract, advance one more time in the Fighters Guild. If I remember right, they send you to a goblin cave anyway, and that sounds like fun. I want to train a little bit. I want to actually get some points into strength and some more, obviously, into endurance and stuff. But if we don't get our strength up and get our primary weapon skills up, then we're going to fall behind in that too. It's all about balance. Be funny having a sword that explodes for frost damage. Yeah, that is a little cheaper over 2 seconds, but I think personally that's going to be a waste. You know, I know it's a slow weapon, but I think putting a charge over 2 seconds, I believe a two-hander swings essentially once per second. I believe that's how the damage ticker works. And with the dagger, you've got like 0.6 or 0.8 of a second. You know, it's just a little bit faster. It seems to swing even faster than that in your hand, but I believe that's how the damage calculates. And so, regardless, I think you'd be resetting that timer a lot and wasting charges and maybe doing less damage over time. Even though you can get, by the numbers, the same damage with a little bit fewer charges, I think if you're doing 20 damage over 2 seconds and you keep resetting that damage timer every second, then you're losing 10 points of damage with each charge. That's how it seems to me. Now, I don't mind status effects lasting, 2 or 3 seconds, like weakness to a particular thing, to guarantee that you get full damage. I'm down with that. That's not really all that expensive, but, I don't believe in leaving damage on the table, so. You can actually see the moon moving. That's pretty cool. Beautiful night skies here. I wish the moons were a little shinier, honestly, in Oblivion, but I'm not going to complain. Night skies are just awesome. Like, yeah, look at that. It just looks natural. And then it puts that nighttime glow on everything down below. It just looks like night. Man, amazing stuff. Ah, if you can't tell, I just love this game. All right, thanks for watching. If you want to subscribe, you can click that button up top. If you want to catch the rest of this playthrough, you can click that image in the middle. Guess we'll get back to some more Fighters Guild stuff on the next one. All right, I'll see you then. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.